Three of the guys you'll see there this weekend are with me right now, and I'm going to start on my immediate right. David Yost, producer now, Billy Cranston then, the Blue Ranger, and in the middle, Austin St. John, paramedic, just returning from overseas out of D.C., and also a firefighter. The Red Ranger in charge, also Jason Lee Scott back then, and of course Walter Jones, still acting, and played Zach Taylor back then, was the Black Ranger, and they made up the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back in the early 90s, ran. It's still running. I mean, it's one of those global things that goes on and on and on. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, set to the premise behind it all is that you got called into action to fight evil at some course, and you had, you morphed. That's when the word came in, I believe. Is that right?
That's when it became really popular,
Okay.
I'd say.
And then you would morph into these people with powers. Why don't you start with David? What did the Blue Ranger, what was his capabilities?
Well, I was the intellectual smart guy of the group, the scientist, and so I was always thinking our way out of the problem, but I got my powers from the Triceratops.
Ah, who hasn't done that on occasion? Who hasn't tried that on a Saturday or so? You were the leader, right?
Yeah, I was a leader. I don't know how that happened, but I ran with it.
Okay, and then your powers?
Mine came from the Tyrannosaurus.
Ah, the Tyrannosaurus. And yours?
Hey, well, I was basically the hip and fun and always there for you guy. But I got my powers from the Mastodon.
Ah, and there were other members that made up the Power Rangers. What the kids really? I mean, this was like toys. I can even remember now. You had your own action figures. This thing ran a full course with, and there are other. You can see other Power Rangers as well. Yep. Men, women, and it also did something else too because it was a reflection of many people. I mean, genders, et cetera, races, nationalities.
Every day.
And it was kind of that in itself kind of broke a little ground, I think, don't you think?
I think that was something we all enjoyed. You know, it was any teenager from any walk of life could identify with one of us at some point in the show, and we had a blast with that. I think the fans did too. How
athletic did you have to be then? I mean, what was the scope of problems that you would run into?
Well, we had to do martial arts. We had to do gymnastics. My character personally had to dance and do all three at the same time. But we had to be martial artists and gymnasts, and all very physically active.
Fans are still very excited to see you. I will ask you this because I tweeted this out. You know, that was color-coded spandex back in 1993. Could you still put that uniform on today?
Yeah. I don't know if it'll look as good, but I can definitely put it on.
I'm sure I could get into it.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll leave it to the crowd to decide how it might look. I don't know.
Ooh, showing those guns.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Show it on real quick.
Power Rangers are a part of this Comic Palooza. Believe me, you are going to have so much fun this weekend, and it is starting today, and it is full of your past, your present, and your future, and it has all of the faces that you grew up with, as well as some that you're going to see in the future. Guys, it was a pleasure meeting you. It
was great being here. Thank you.
I even recognized you with your helmets off. I thought that was good. Hey, we'll have more powerful things coming up in a couple minutes.